Well, doesn't look like anyone else is going to be joining us, so let's just have a quick chat about where we are thus far with the translation stuff. You may have seen that we've committed a few changes into the Doxy upgrade branch on the site repository this week. Hopefully we have got to a position where everything is now working. Here's Tara. I'll just pause and let her get signed in. Oh, we've lost her again.
This morning I saw that we start to upgrade the website, so the Doxy build.
Yep, that's correct. Hi Tara.
Is it work?
Can you hear us?
Hello, sorry.
Yeah,
I'm trying to connect from a different setup, and it was just having all kinds of problems.
It's okay.
How is everyone today?
Yeah,
Good.
Glad to have you with us.
All right.
So I was just starting to say we've been making some progress on the Doxy upgrade.
Yes, and I sorry, should have done all this yesterday and I did not. Still having problems. So I realized I had failed to notice, I think I mentioned this in channel, that the Windows Linux subsystem versions by default are not up to date, which was causing some of my problems. I wanted to confirm, which version do you have? It's just absolute latest, like 0.8, whatever.
So if you take a look in the notes for today's meeting, I've put all the versions in there.
Perfect. Sure. Having to sign into HackMD from this machine. Sign in. No, stop.
So I can read it out to you if it's easier.
All right. Sorry.
So the version. Is it Hugo we need to upgrade, or all the core? So Hugo or DocSite? DocSite.
So you need in order to run the latest version of Doxy, which is version 0.7.1 as a module.
115. Okay.
You need Hugo 0.115, and in order to run that, you need Go version 1.20.
Oh man, yeah, okay. Way behind. Right, so my hope was, and thank you, Terry, for stepping up on this because I was running so slowly on it. My goal is to validate your changes. And then we can merge them into mainline and then update the L10N branch. So I'll be working on that.
So it might be easier to just create a PR from the upgrade branch onto main, and then that should create a preview.
Oh, right, I forgot about the previews. You, sir, are correct. We should do that. Let's just do that. Okay.
Now,
Branch.
it looks like we might need to tweak the config on our setup, because you should be able to get previews on branches as well, and we're not getting that. In fact, it doesn't seem to do any checks on branches at the moment, so that must be something about the Netlify setup.
Yeah. All right, well, that's the beauty of having a working pull request. We have a workaround. Do we have, let's see, upgrade? Oh, we have a bunch of tickets that. Oh man, it'd be cool if we could associate the PR with the tickets. Oh, here we go. Link.
Yeah.
Pull request. So once we create the pull request, we can link it. How was everyone's weekend?
Oh, good. And in the August, I'm gonna take my vacation, so middle of August. So now we are running to complete all the stuff before I leave.
Pull request. Okay. 39. Start hooking up some.
So just wanted to talk through a few bits that we need to be mindful of now we're using the new setup. So the config toml file has now changed to hugo.toml. It's mostly the same structure, but there are a few changes. So the languages section is now a bit more deeply nested. They changed the way this was configured. So when we add a new language as a translation, we need to create a section for it and specify its details. But the description has now moved into a nested parameters value, which it was at the top level before, and that now throws an error. And then once you see the site running, you'll see that we have a drop-down language selector in the menu now, and the content of that is specified by this language name tag. So we might want to do the translated local language name in there, so that it shows up in the appropriate language in that drop down. Then also in this config file, we now have a new modules section. And this is where you configure additional plugins. And these get mounted into the file system for the application stack. So the stuff that's in here under Hugo and Doxy is the configuration for the Doxy plugin. So whereas previously we actually had a physical instance of the Doxy theme under the themes folder, this now exists as a separate asset that gets imported. So this should be much easier to keep up to date, because it will now just inherit the latest version whenever we start the server.
Isn't it such a terribly satisfying thing when you have a pull request with all of those deletes?
Yeah.
Love those. Clean it out.
The challenge that we had is that actually we had added a bunch of sections to the base Doxy theme. So that's why nothing would render correctly initially. So I've had to override that, and that now lives in the layouts folder. And so for each of our new category sections, we have a corresponding layout. Now, in our case, they're all exactly the same at the moment, because all of our pages are structured the same. But in theory, if we wanted to vary these, we could make, say, the resources section look a bit different to the other sections. I have also added some shortcode extensions to Hugo, because the rendering has changed quite a bit in the past 50 or so versions that we've skipped, and so some of our pages were no longer rendering the way we wanted them to. So I've just made some little utility things to allow us to tweak the layout easily. Going back to this config file, there's a new section here that we need to look at. So what we can do now is actually modify the way things get mounted in the file system for Hugo, and we can do that hierarchically. So what that means is you can effectively mount the default English map of the site underneath any of the translations.
That's the thing
So,
that you were talking about before from the CD events cutover. Yeah, okay, cool.
yeah. So
Yeah.
this means that when you've only got a partial translation, you'll still have the full site, but some of it will be in English and some of it will be in the translated language. Now you do have to do that explicitly for each language. So this is the default mount for English, and then you need to add one for each additional language in order to make that work. And I think the rest of this is still pretty much as was. I've tidied up a little bit. There were some configuration things in here from stale markup languages that we weren't using anymore.
All right, the netlify deploy broke.
Is
Let's
there
see.
somewhere we can make a drop down to choose the language?
I think that should show up by default now, right?
Yeah, let me
Just change.
just work it. I think it's 3-1.
Oh wow, it looks very it's different. It's different looking.
So all
We
it
have it.
does
Yeah,
is the
we have it.
default
Yeah,
font is different, and the colors have changed slightly. They seem to have made some changes to the way they're doing the color handling. But you've got this drop-down menu now that allows you to switch across now.
nice.
And that seems to have broken. I
Yeah,
thought we had a translation for that. Okay, that's weird.
it's failing in a very basic way that makes me wonder if there's something we have to do on the netlify side.
Okay, excellent. It's translated here. When you see a close of the logo, it's translated.
Yeah, but this page should have a translation for it. So something about that remapping is not working. Or there's a race condition, because I had it working when I tested it, and it's now not working again.
Excellent.
If I
Yeah.
To anyone who tries
decide,
to claim that you don't need proper doc teams, they need to shut up.
yeah,
This stuff's hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next step, I also upgrade the Docker file for those need to use Docker to develop. So when the upgrade gonna be merged on the main branch, I will.
Well, I mean, you could add the Docker file update to the upgrade branch in the meantime if you wanted to test it, but it looks like there's a number of things that are going to have.
I'm not on my personal computer
Yeah,
now,
that's
so
no rush.
yeah.
Oh, that works.
so I've removed the
See here, it
mapping.
looks like here when you choose Spanish, all the menu is not showing up.
Yeah, that's correct. This is what happens if you don't have that that remapping of the English site
Okay, so-
underneath. So now if I switch to English, you'll get the English page and the whole menu stack. But if you switch to Spanish, we've only got the about page. and it looks like
Okay.
we're going to
Something on
need
the mount
to
is needs to be tweaked.
just update this because I've had to make some changes to the whole site, so we'll need to move those across to the translations as well.
So I think, hang on here, if I go to. So something in the, we have to figure out something in the Netlify. Oh, I see. It's hard coded to look under themes doxy. What would that be? I'm sure there's something here too.
Which file are you looking at?
Oh, so if you look at, drop the link here in the Zoom chat. So the build was kicked off and
Okay.
I see it's hard coded to go into themes doxy. There's some tweak somewhere we need to find to fix that. Go into high tech industry. What's glamorous?
Yeah, we don't need the Git submodule stuff either.
Yeah, so there's I'm looking for
So we've got a build script somewhere then, have we?
yeah. I'm not finding that. Is that? Is it an action? No. I can dig through my notes on how to set this up. It's been too long. Looking at the Netlify app connected to it. Let's see.
Have you found the build settings?
Not yet. I'm looking.
So if you go in the Netlify config for best practices CD foundation, there's a side menu that says site configuration, and there's a sub menu which says build and deploy continuous deployment. And it looks like there's a configure for
Wait, hang on. I'm in the Netlify. Want to do a quick share screen, Terry?
yeah, just a sec. I think. There.
Oh, I see. You're coming out from the, I was looking at it from the GitHub. You're coming at it from the Netlify site.
Yeah.
I was in the wrong location.
So I'm just going to copy that and keep a copy of it somewhere.
There we go.
I think we should be able to just change that to be Hugo, because
Okay.
it's in the, it starts in the root directory and changes down, which we don't need. So we
Right.
don't need that bit. And then all the rest of that command is setting up the Git submodules, which we no longer have.
No longer have.
And then it's just going back up again, which we don't need because we didn't go down. So it should just be that.
Yep. Okay,
Let's go.
let's try this again. Once more with feeling, as they say.
So let's see if I can.
Don't need to specify the branch.
Well, it should, okay, hang on, shouldn't.
No, it's not a wood branch. See. Okay.
There we go. I'm retrying the branch that failed.
Okay. Building.
That looks promising.
Oh, it's right.
Woohoo!
There we go.
Woohoo. There we go.
Huzzah! Okay, so we still have, so if you switch to Spanish in this, we'll still have the mount issue. Oh.
Yes.
Wait. It worked. It looks better.
What now?
No, it's doing everything, but it's overriding the Spanish with the English.
Oh, I see the application error down below. Okay. All right. Well, progress. Dude.
So let me push my changes, because I've just backed that out. So
Hi, is free to use or they need a license to buy something on it?
all of this is free to use now.
I am having a work thing. I'm gonna have to jump. I will follow up on any updates on my side in Slack. And
Okay, no problem.
leave me any requests that you may have in Slack as well.
Right. Well, hopefully that should deploy again with just the translation. So it should then be readable. And I'll have a look and see if there's something special we need to do to get that working properly.
Yeah. Okay.
But if
All right.
everybody could take a look through the site and see if you find any major rendering issues.
Yeah. As soon as I can get my Hugo set up fixed. That was the next thing I was gonna be working on, is just starting to poke through everything. All right, thank you, Terry. Talk to y'all later.
No problem.
Yeah,
Cheers,
so
all.